Saul Anuzis, the past chair of the Michigan Republican Party. I opened up my good old-fashioned print version of the Detroit News this morning, and there is his face. And the headline is, "Look twice before buying concert tickets." Welcome back to the program through the AT&T line, Saul.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
What's this all about?
Well, the folks are trying to restrict our ability to buy and sell concert tickets and limit the kind of the ownership and resale of these tickets. And I think there's kind of a move by certain ticket sellers to have a control over them. And so the idea is that there's currently legislation at least being considered to allow for kind of the free transfer of tickets and sales. So like if you and I were to buy a ticket and wanted to sell it to somebody else, there's actually restrictions on that. I think that part of it is profit motivated, and a ticket should be like any other asset that somebody owns. There ought to be freedom of transfer to somebody else who wants to go for whatever reason. If I can't make it, if something else comes up, et cetera, rather than having it be limited to a certain vendor under a certain circumstance.
You mean it would be like an airline ticket where you buy it and it's under your name, and if you want to give it to somebody else, there's a fee or something like that?
Yeah, well, no, not even a fee. You can't do it. Legally, the way they're trying to set it up is you really couldn't even do it. And so that restriction is just kind of absurd in this regard. I mean, right now, there's pretty much flexibility in that. We're buying this ticket. It's a seat. There's no security concerns here. There's no, like an airline ticket, the example you used. So it ought to be freely transferable. And
you paid for it, it's yours.
Starting right now.
You paid for it, it's yours. You can give it to whoever you want, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the deal, as I read in your editorial here in the Detroit News, is that you can, under this sort of plan, tickets can only be purchased by credit card, and the buyer has to present the credit card and a photo ID with the ticket to get in, just like getting on an airplane.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's an absurd concept in general. I mean, why should we limit the ability as to who's going to go? What if I wanted to buy it for my kids? What if I want to transfer it to a neighbor? What if I wanted to sell it to somebody for some legitimate reason or any reason? Mm-hmm. We ought to have the freedom to do that in this, from a commerce standpoint. So this is just another, kind of regulatory system that is being designed, I think, for the profit of the few at the expense of the many. And it doesn't make any sense for you as consumers to be limited to go to any concert or any event down the line.
Tony Cuthbert?
Now, the wildly successful website StubHub, could this be the end of the website if stuff like this starts popping up?
I don't know specifically what StubHub does. I think it's more of a function of these, anybody who wants to transfer tickets would be limited as to what they could do, and it would just raise the cost of entry into these places. And so, if I bought a ticket and I had to eat it, somebody else, if it wasn't a assigned seat, obviously somebody else could go, but if not, they'd have to buy it at the door, et cetera. So you're just limiting the ability for people to move in and out of concerts and to take advantage of concert tickets.